Here we go again on our own. Well, me on my own, just because nobody's here yet. But welcome to TK and Drinks Tuesday Night Live. I'm your host, TK. Tonight we're going to be drinking a beer. We're going to be talking some bullshit, as we typically do on these Tuesday Night Live events. So thank y'all for being here with me live or in the recording. Whatever's clever. Appreciate you viewing regardless. So as I was saying, it's a Tuesday Night Live. Every Tuesday I get together with my viewing audience, do a little talking, do a little, like I was saying, beers and bullshitting, and just kind of go over what's been going on in the past week in my life, go on with some programming notes about the show, and about my interviews and my review series over on my YouTube channel. So if you don't know about that, I do reviews, I do interviews with Meaderies, I do homebrewing videos and stuff all over my YouTube channel, TK and Drinks. Go give that a follow, a subscribe, hit that notify bell over there. Stay up to date on all the TK and Drinks content. It does help the algorithms generate my name more and get my views up. So appreciate all the help I can get on that. Thank you all so very much. What's going on? Hippie chick, Tap Savvy, what's happening? Thanks for popping in today. Just getting into my first beer for the evening, picked up from the cats there at the Proclamation Ale Company. I'm not even sure where the heck they're at, but it looked very interesting. It's a double IPA, 9.5%. It looks like they're out of Rhode Island, Warwick, Rhode Island. So never, I don't know if I've ever had any beers out of Rhode Island, but definitely gonna give this one a shot. So again, we got a double, super hazy double IPA. It doesn't say that on there, but it's pretty evident that that's a hazy IPA. So one thing I did like about that, I don't know if I can show it now that I got enough out of there, on the bottom of the can, it says maybe, and then it has the can date on there, so like maybe it was canned on 12/16. Maybe not. I thought that was pretty clever. So nice, super thick head on there, nice full body, definitely digging that. Bright citrusy notes on there, so I imagine it's probably got some Citra hops in it, or maybe some Senko hops in it, something like that. I hate when they never put that on there. I always take it as like a little bit of pride trying to be able to dig what's out of there, but I'm certainly not a hop guy compared to being a mead judge and all that, but I enjoy it nonetheless. Wow, that's incredibly smooth for 9.5%. Very orange, like juicy. Definitely get some strong hop characters in there. Not very dry. Certainly not a dry hopped IPA. Just a double IPA. But that's good. Kind of mild actually in flavor and character all around, which is pretty good. I mean, it makes it easy daily driver again for something that's 9.5%. I don't know if I'd be cracking 3 or 4 of these a night, but just for this one, having a hell of a time enjoying this one. So yes sir. See what else we got going on. So a little bit, get into what's going on in the family this week. We had all last week I was off, didn't have any programs, didn't do any videos or anything like that. Family was intermittently out with COVID. One person had it and then someone else had it, and it was just flying through the house. And my little man was the last one to have it. He just got cleared to go back to school. Today was his first day back in like a week, over a week, something like that. So the rest of us, everybody's good, everybody's clear, everybody's healthy and happy, and just glad to be happy and healthy is what we'll say about that. So onward towards victory. And oh, thank you. I thought it was a beautiful pour myself. And I very rarely do those because I'm usually a klutz when it comes to that stuff. But so we powered through the COVID, and now we're on to bigger, brighter things. So this Tuesday is gonna be my last Tuesday Night Live. TK and Drinks, just regular Tuesday Night Live, because we're gonna be switching back over to the What's the Story interview format. I have I have at least 5 or 6 interviews scheduled right now. And we're going to be starting off next week with, many of you know him, Sean Darrell Harris. He is the proprietor there at, man, I can never pronounce the name of it. Wokali Honey. There, he's on the Big Island in Hawaii. He supplies a lot of the Mead members and a lot of the Mead groups with their honey. Well, not their honey, but he supplies them with honey from the Big Island there in Hawaii. All sorts of different ones. I just saw today he was doing up something, some sort of crazy. He's got like Christmas blossom honey. What was the other these ones I was just looking at the other day? He's got macadamia nut blossom honey. He gets lahua blossom honey. He's mamene blossom honey. Got coffee blossom, lemon, citrus, all sorts of. I mean, just all sorts of crazy stuff that he picks up around the island there. I think he's I don't know if all of it he gets from his bees and stuff like that, but I know that he definitely is the pusher of that honey. So if you've bought honey or had mead from anybody in one of these mead homebrew groups or anybody that's on the big ones on Facebook, like Underground Meadery or Micro Meads and Brews and stuff like that, chances are you've had some of Sean's honey. So I was lucky that Princess Tree honey, that was the one I saw. Yeah, the Princess Tree honey. I have not even any clue what that is, a Princess Tree, but it sounds interesting, and I'm sure Sean's going to provide some cool backstories on some of these trees and some of these different varietals and stuff. So that'll be starting off next Tuesday, 2/8. So mark your calendar if that's something that interests you. If you want to see that live, we're going to be taking viewer questions, be doing a little Q&A and stuff with the audience and all that stuff. Sorry, I got caught up reading the feed. I hate that I have that like squirrel thing whenever I see something go flashing by. So definitely mark your calendar 2/8 for Sean Daryl Harris from Wakely Honey. I'm sure I'm butchering the shit out of that. Then coming up on the next Tuesday, which I believe is the 18th, we're looking at Twisted Horn Meadery. They're out of Vista, California. I have not talked to those guys too much. I got some of their mead coming in. Fingers crossed that it shows up in time for the interview, because that's one of the other things I'm trying to work on too. Another programming note is going to have mead lined up in time for the interview. So as I'm interviewing, we can pop a bottle, talk about them, do a little walkthrough, pour through, talk through, all that jazz. So looking forward to that one, to be the first one of the live tasting and all that stuff on purpose. I've had it happen on accident before, but so with Twisted Horns from Vista, California, Vince. Then we'll be talking with the cats from Steamworks on I believe it's the 25th of the 20. Then the next one after that on the 22nd is going to be, or the 24th, whatever. I don't have my freaking calendar, and the last one I looked at said January on it, so I'm all messed up. But that next Tuesday in February is going to be my Meeting of the Minds. So that one is going to be a 3-person panel interview with my man John Duncan. You see him down here, Weeping Willow Mead. My man Carlos from Texas Longhouse Mead. And then Garrett from Man-Made Mead. If you know him, he's got a YouTube channel. He's big with the homebrewers. Does all sorts of massive stuff. He's got his own competition that I think he sponsors either himself or in part with like Doing the Most and a couple other people. This dude's huge in the online mead video world. Chances are, if you Google the word mead review right now, his or mead anything, his hits will come up in the top 5 hits. So super excited. I did an interview with him it was 2 Octobers ago at this point. It's like October of 2020, and I was really blessed to be able to have some time with him. So he's doing me a solid coming on my show. So on the 22nd, be on the lookout for that. I don't know why this freaking calendar is taking forever to open. There we go. So that's going to be on the 22nd. So we got Twisted Horn on the 15th. We got Sean Daryl Harris on the 8th. We got the Meeting of the Minds on the 22nd. Then on 3/1 we have Steamwork Mead out of Medford, Oregon. Now I haven't talked to the cats up there, just a quick little chat through there. But like I said, we're gonna have some mead coming in for Steamwork, so try to grab a couple bottles from him and go through that. They make a wide variety of different flavors. He's always got a chai one that on his web store that always looks interesting. I always I'm a huge chai tea fan, so when people brew with it or add it in secondary, I'm always interested to see what's going to come out of it. So super excited to talk to him about that. He's got a blackberry one he just posted online. Blackberry, anybody's from the Northwest is obviously going to be super familiar with blackberries. See what else he's got on here. He's got a lemon session mead that he does. This one called Wild Jackson with wild Northern California wildflower honey. So definitely excited to try that. I've never heard of Wild Jackson. I was like, is that a type of variety or something like that? But who knows? Sounds interesting. So that's on the 1st. We'll be working with Steamworks Meadery. They're out again, Medford. And then getting into the back half of March, we're still talking to some cats and kind of dialing that in. I'm talking with Second City Meadery. They're out of the Chicago area. I'm trying to get with we got Contrivance Mead out of Seattle. We got him worked in there. I want to say on the on the 15th of March will be Contrivance. So his name's Brandon. He's a super cool dude. He's got this like kind of steampunk logo and theme going on. He'll probably have this like really cool top hat with these goggles. He's into muscle cars and all sorts of stuff. There, I didn't get to run into him. It was actually one of the things that I meant to do while I was up there on my mead journey up in over the summertime was get to meet Brandon and hang out with him at his cool meadery spot. Couldn't make it work, timing shit happens. But the cool thing is his spot is directly across the street from Opagard Meadery. Like you can see the meaderies from each other. And then John has a guy who co-brews in his meadery. So it's like technically within like 65-yard radius or 65-yard distance or whatever. You got 3 different meaderies, which I think that's probably one of the only places in the country, if not in the world, where you have 3 different commercial meaderies operating in a 100 square foot 100-foot radius circle or whatever it is. So I think that's pretty neat too. But Contrivance Mead, so we're gonna be picking up some meads from him as well, get those on, and that's going to take us right into the middle of March. And like I said, we're dialing in the back end of March and into April right now. Got some other people on the line. Don't really want to talk about that too much, just to, not jinx it and not set myself up for some failure or anything like that. But, yeah, so super excited about the upcoming interviews and all that jazz. These guys are really doing me a solid by taking the time out of their day to, give me an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, sometimes an hour and a half. And, I really appreciate that because I'm just some guy who's on the internet trying to, be a clown and talk about something that he's, kind of hobby passionate about. And I guess a little more than hobby passionate if I'm, flying around the country and spending money to judge meads and stuff like that. But, these guys are doing me a solid by coming up on my show, and I always just appreciate anybody that gives me their time because I have fun doing this, and it's it's not often that you get to have fun doing something like this and involve a bunch of other people these days. A lot of people are. I'm glad to see everything's getting back to normal. People are, actually getting out and doing things again. Hey, take it easy, John, man. I will see you in a couple weeks for the meeting of the minds, brother. Appreciate it. So, but, it's just cool that I get to do these things and involve, and then I get to make cool friends from around the country. So whenever I go anywhere, I've always got a welcome table and a full mug or a full glass or something wherever I go, which is always really cool. And I'm dying to see the insides of most of these people's meaderies. You can always get a feel, like kind of a feel when you see the pictures online, but it never does the spots justice. Like my friends down here at Tap Savvy, they got this really cool industrial theme. They have these freaking lamps that are made out of like pipe fittings, have gauges on them and stuff, and have these navy cages on the outside. This is super cool vibe and feel to their place. And it looks cool in the pictures and everything, but if you go in there and just the whole vibe and the atmosphere and the ambiance and everything, it's just, I want to experience that for all these different cool places. Scale and Feathers down here in Avondale, they've got this really cool medieval like tavern type vibe and theme going on. It feels cool when you go in there. So all these different places, like the guy's coming up there in North Carolina, Retro Meadery. They have that like video game theme and all that stuff. Excited about that. Definitely want to go visit those guys and Yeah, get all that stuff going on. Waxing on and not drinking, that's the real problem here. So, what else? Oh, got waxing into the interviews and stuff. Forgot to mention the other bits of my family meetings from last week. So, a couple of weeks ago, or I guess it was last year at this point, kind of closer to Thanksgiving, we ended up having a meeting with my younger son Grayson's teachers, and they let us know that they wanted to have him tested for the gifted program. Well, they told us this before they had him tested. I want to say he's in 3rd grade now, so I want to say in 1st grade they had him tested. And he was kind of on the edge, and they said, no, we're not going to put him in there. Well, this year again, they said we're going to test him. And we just got the paperwork home today that they're accepting him into the gifted program. So now he's going to be getting tutored and have special, I would say, help. They call it tutoring and stuff. So he's going to be getting all this extra attention at school and stuff. So I'm definitely excited about that. That kid is crazy clever, and it's interesting to see how he's reacting to all the school and stuff. I was not expecting him to like. I mean, he talks about how much he doesn't like school, but he does so well in it. It's ridiculous. So super excited about that. And then the older son, Sky, he is getting on to his culinary class, which he's super excited about. He's finally starting to get into the kitchen and actually starting cooking and getting past all the safety stuff and watching videos and actually get to start doing what the class is about. So he's excited. They have a thing where they're not allowed to take like whatever they make out of the culinary classroom. So if they make like, I don't know, brownies or cookies or make a pizza or something like that, they're not allowed to take it out of the room. They gotta eat it there in the class or leave it there and whatnot. So which I was kind of, I don't remember it being like that. I definitely remember the kids who had in-home ec and stuff that went out and if they made something, they were taking that around school and I'm eating this for lunch or whatever the case is going to be. But I don't know if it has something to do with food allergies or if it has something to do with that would probably be my guess. I mean, I guess it could be they don't want kids to get envious and jealous of the other kids, but I mean, I don't know. They had every opportunity to take culinary class too, so oh, Mom says it's always been like that. Oh, okay. Well, I figure it was a newfangled thing they had to do for because they had allergies and stuff. I don't want to be cooking peanut butter cookies, and everybody in the class has been cleared for peanut butter cookies, but nobody else in the school. And next thing they know, that somebody touches it and they balloon up like frickin' Hitch from that movie. Will Smith from that movie Hitch. But man, there's a cat out there screaming to get in here. I am not going to let it in. Despite that, because it's in an impatient mood, so going to want to go right back out, because that's how cats do it. She's not so much upset that she's can't get in, she's upset that the door is closed. Like, I don't want this door closed. I want free access to go wherever I want to go. Damn cats. But it is what it is. So thank y'all, everybody who's been here today. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Give me a little bit of your time, your energy on this Tuesday. So, what else do we got going on? Oh, so Mead Reviews. Ooh, I always catch my beard in the light. It makes me feel all self-conscious about it. See, we got Mead Reviews coming up. So, to go again along to coincide with those interviews, we are going to be doing the TK and Drinks Mead Reviews over on the YouTube channel, trying to go in tandem with those interviews and stuff. So I don't know exactly how it's going to work out, but if I'm going to be popping at least one bottle on camera with them, and I'll probably roll that into an interview or roll that into a review and do that, because I want to try to at least keep the reviews current with the people that are, at least do the interview on the Tuesday, and post it on the YouTube channel, and then have like a review like coming up like that following Monday before that, or if I want to do the review the Monday before and then pop, another bottle on camera with them. I'm going to be popping bottles anyway. So I guess it'll be more of a real tell is if the bottles show up. If the bottles show up on Monday, maybe I'll pop one, record the review Monday, and then do the live thing with another bottle on Tuesday. At least that way I'll have one review ready to go before the end of the week, before, because I don't know if I wanted to drop the review that late after doing I don't know. We'll see how it goes. That's how we do it. We play it by ear here, but be aware that the reviews are going to try to line up much more with the interview series. I guess is more trying what I'm getting, what the point is there. So maybe fewer reviews from one, maybe it'd be more like only like two reviews from each brand, at least initially. And then, I'm trying to usually get like 3 or 4 bottles from these cats, like I've been doing. So if I do like two now and then throw them in the cooler and do like one later, like when I'm either out of interviews or when I'm when I'm doing got extra time and stuff like that. Extra time, yeah, that's a good one, TK. You almost had yourself with that one. What's up, brother Luke, from my man Loco Asylum there. That's another man I'd love to, I need to get him on board here with the interview in the coming weeks, if possible. I ran into Luke there here. Well, I've been working with him here on the internets and stuff, but ran into him at the Major Cup, had a great time drinking some mead with him and kicking. I'd be usually about this time, man. It's usually about, I do it 6 p.m. Arizona time, so everybody else's time changes, mine doesn't. So I say 6 p.m. Arizona time, everyone's like, well, what time is that? So you're in East Coast time over there in, was it Jersey, right? Jersey, Delaware, somewhere in that area, and Maryland. Yeah, no. Yes, but yeah. So I don't know. What that be? If it's right now, I think it's 8 o'clock over there, and then I'm so 2 hours behind you. But I mean, if we be Ocean City, Maryland, there it is. Yeah, as I say, because the Moco and the yeah, we had a whole discussion about it. It was a kick-ass day. So we'll be stalker. Yeah, no man, I just had a good time hanging out with you and chilling. If that makes me a stalker, then I guess so be it. But definitely, I think y'all will get a kick out of Luke. He's a super cool cat and he's doing some unique stuff out there. He is one of the dudes that did the mead judging exam with me. He was sitting across the table across from me, and we had a good old time there. So love to get Luke on here. And yeah, so back to the programming notes. Like I said, so the reviews are going to line up much more in line. Dude, where's my lighter? In the at the Loft Apartments in Boulder. You can go ask that weird looking dude out front. So, until then, I do have a couple of reviews, because if my review for the Twisted Horn stuff that's coming in won't be ready, like I said, that won't even be here till Monday, so I gotta have something for next week. And I was going to do one more, I got a couple more bottles from Manic, but I had, I think people are waning, like I think people get bored after 2 or 3, so I try to shrink down the number, at least, like I said, back to back, kind of shuffle it up a little bit. Not that they don't want to see other stuff from Manic, but it's like, not back to back. I thought I would like it better back to back like that, but maybe if I was releasing like 3, like this week, 3 boom 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 from that, and then the next one by like 3 weeks in a row, people start to get tired of it. So see how that all plays into it. But the ones I'm going to be breaking into, so before we get into Twisted Horn, the next mead review you're probably going to see is going to be my bottle of Pips. Now, I had been saving this one specifically, but as I do on the TK and Drink show, their stuff is definitely, not the easiest to get, but it's not impossible to get. And this one's a cranberry almond. It's not one of their like super sought after ones or anything like that. And actually dying to try a cranberry mead. I'm not sure. I think I had one cranberry sage mead, and it was not my favorite one. If memory serves, I'd have to go back and look. I think that one was from Honey Girl down in North Carolina. But that being said, I'm definitely trying dying to try anything from Pips because I hear nothing but great things. Actually, I take that back. I did get a slice of one of theirs at Mazer Cup. Somebody had brought one from their personal collection, and I believe it was, oh, what the heck flavor was it? I think it was a black currant one. I think it was their, I can't remember what it was called, not blackjack. I don't know. I can't remember any of the names, but I think we're pretty sure it was a black currant mead. But it was really rich and full, and it was, you know, it pretty much lived up to most of the hype that everybody put in front of it. So I want to see how this one's going to do as well. So this is a cranberry mead with almonds in it. This whole Lahire brand that they do, Lahire, H-I-R-E, Lahire. I don't know, but cranberry mead with almonds, and they did a whole like 6 or 7 different 5. They had a bunch of these different Lahires. They had one with almonds, one with cinnamon, cranberry and cinnamon. I didn't know how that would turn out, but you know, I guess it's probably going to be pretty good. Like a barrel aged one, I think they did as well. So definitely excited to try that one out. So be on the lookout for the next review. Going to be from Pips. And I've been thinking about switching up the review series too. You know, I do like doing the pop the bottle on doing the slow pour and all that stuff, but I think I'm missing a little something in a lot of these because, you know, obviously don't finish the bottle every time, then I go back to them a couple days later, and they pick up a lot of unique characters, most of them anyway, through like the oxidization and whatnot. Like specifically like this black metal one. So this was the I love this freaking label, by the way. I didn't get a good shot of it on the video because I wasn't thinking or whatever, but so this black metal, this is metal foam honey and blackberry blossom honey 50-50, aged 12 months or 11 months, 12 months in a Chicago Homeland or Chicago Highland, I can't remember, bourbon barrel. And this was released in February of 2021, so I just opened, so it's been sitting there for now, aged basically, for 2 years. This thing has such unique character and everything that comes in now that it's got that like micro oxidization and everything that's been going on. The spiciness is gone away. It's not, I know this isn't the right kind of glass. I grabbed it wrong. I thought it was my fucking tulip, but oh well. Too late at this point. But there's so much uniqueness that comes out. That wasn't initially there. I mean, like the blackberry honey, like, but you could get a hint of it. You could get this like that earthiness, that red berry character to it. But now that it's sat there for a couple days, like I'm telling you, it tastes like, you know, get like real blackberry preserves, not jam or certainly not jelly. I mean, I guess maybe jam if they had left the seeds in it, but like the blackberry preserves was like chunks of blackberry and it still has the seeds in it, and you can bite those seeds and you get that little the bitterness and that little bits of acidity, and it just adds to the overall character of it. You get that in there, like certainly not so much as in the nose as it aged, but in the mouth. It's so present. It's like, it almost tastes like blackberry jam and marshmallow from like if you were making like a fluffernutter sandwich or something like that, but instead of using like the peanut butter, you use like blackberry jam. It's so just in your face, the jam taste to it, and I wasn't expecting that. I didn't get that from the one when I took just a pinch of it up at Mazer Cup, but now when I have it here, holy cow. So to that effect, I think I'm going to start trying to either do a split, maybe a split shooting, like shoot myself opening it and do like a little voiceover and then talk about it when I do the slow pour and all that stuff, because I definitely don't want to get rid of the slow pour. I love doing the slow pour. It's like my signature thing. So we're going to keep doing the slow pour, but I definitely want to, I think, expand on that and do like a double you know, get a little bit of taste when it's fresh, and then get a little, come back to it, 72 hours later, something like that, and get a little bit more of a revisit on that and see if it doesn't pick up a little better, stronger characters. So, oh yeah, that label, yeah, trust me, that bottle's not going anywhere. That bottle is going to be sitting on the shelf here somewhere forever. I love that black, the two that Tony's, whoever Tony has designing his art on his bottles is phenomenal. He always has some really cool, unique stuff. I love all of that. That's why they became my favorite after Ancient Fire closed down. They're not necessarily, I don't necessarily think they're the best in the world, but I say they're my personal favorite. Like, I loved how Ancient Fire, all their stuff was uniform. They all had the labels all looked the same, and they were like a different color scheme and a different this and everything. It was a very simple, clean, I would say utilitarian, but just like minimalist type of thing. It was very professional. Tony stuff, equally as cool on the opposite side of the spectrum. None of the bottles look the same. They all have these like wicked cool, colorful designs and bright labels, and I think they're equally, you need one as much as you need the other. You can't have the yin without the yang. You can't have, NWA's Fuck the Police without having, Will Smith's Parents Just Don't Understand. You can't have one without the other. It's just how it is. And I'm happy to, ooh, pardon me, ooh, my nose all itchy. And I'm happy to support everybody and anybody who's, getting on, like, there's I think that one of the things that I always had been saying was a high tide rises all ships. And while I still feel that is a valid saying, I think I'm going to stop perpetuating that saying, because it kind of implies that you want all ships to rise. And I'm definitely starting to be in the boat to where there's, if there's some certain ships out there that don't rise, I'm not going to say root for them to sink, but I'm certainly going to not be upset if their ship doesn't rise as much as other people's. Let's just put it that way. So, all the same label, please. Oh, you're a same label guy. So, yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. So, like, look at that. So, for Ancient Fire, I mean, you got one white, simple, very uniform label. There's the one flavor. It's pink. There's one that's green. You got one that's burgundy colored. I mean, all their labels are that same color scheme. Everything. Now I have to remember where each one goes. Each one does its own, does its thing, so to speak. So, although I do have to say that, where is it? This one here from Meadery again. Freaking awesome. Blacklisted. This is a collab they did with their tattoo buddy that owns a tattoo parlor. I mean, look at that. It's so thick and dark. But yeah, so that was designed by their buddy who's a tattoo artist, another guy named Tony. Tony Reyes. They're at Blacklisted Tattoo. So they called it Blacklisted. Dope design. They did a bourbon barrel aged one, which had a more like kind of like tan, orangish type of finish to it, rather than this yellow kind of honey colored. But this one's a black raspberry and black raspberry mead. Nope, just a black raspberry mead. I thought it was with something else, but straight black raspberry mead. And was definitely going to do that one next in the Mead series, but like I said, the videos, as they seem to get, like the first one from a new Meadery gets a lot of hype, and then the second one gets maybe as much, sometimes a little bit less, and then the third one never gets as much. So the fact that I saved that Black Meadow one till the third was definitely the favorite of the lot from Manic. Certainly more, I liked it more than the Blueberry Elliott one or the certainly better than the peanut butter and jelly one. But nobody's seeing it. Nobody's jumping on that bandwagon. So, try to hype it up, change it up a little bit. So just do 1, 2 from these meaderies, maybe in 3. If I do 3 of them, it'll probably be in a week, and probably just bang them out, bam, 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 something. However I do it, but so definitely excited for this Pips one. If y'all ever had a Pips out there, excuse me, let me know, because down in the comments or whatever after the fact, because I'm pretty sure nobody watching now has had Pips. I might be wrong. Luke might have had some Pips because he was there. Did you have that one that was there at Mazer Cup that Homeboy was bringing around? I can't remember what that kid's name was. He was one of the other stewards, so you probably did talk to him. But man, that one was legit. So I'm definitely excited to try this. I'm trying to come up on another one of their bottles before too long, because after I get rid of this one. That's my man, Lou. Yes, I got you, brother. So definitely looking to expand a couple more bottles of the Pips. I think I got a line. Ooh, and there's some. That's one thing that I definitely found. I found a dude who's super cool, who has a bunch of access to a bunch of different. He has a bunch of different flavors and a bunch of different meaderies. I don't know where he got them from, but he's not jacking the prices up. He's like, here's what I paid for it, and then $5, which basically covers his shipping costs. Because you can't get a single bottle shipped to you for $5. So if I'm gonna have to pay $5 over his cost, hey, to me that's a fair deal, because that's I don't feel like I'm being taken advantage of at that point. I feel that's a fair deal. $5 over cost, man. It took till day 2 to go upstairs, but I took full advantage. Oh yeah, there was some winning. It sounded like Charlie Sheen. Winning. Yeah, there was some great stuff going on. I have to say, though, out of everything that was up, that people were bringing to the bottle shares at Mazer Cup, my favorite stuff was I can't remember what the cat's name is right now, but he was I'm sure I'm gonna get blasted by anybody if he sees this, but he brought some Polish meads in. He brought this, what was the one was like a 25-year Polish mead, and it was just, I can't even, the complexity in those Polish meads that he was bringing were something else. Again, you take a thimble full of this stuff and you catch a buzz off it. I mean, it has to be 20% stuff. Was it Chris? I don't know if it was Chris. It was the older dude with the glasses. I don't remember what his name was. Oh no, Chris was the dude who brought the Chris was the guy who brought the Pips. Yes. Oh, you got it too, man. You freaking, yeah. See, that's one of the things I want to do next time, and I would suggest actually for anybody, Tony, if you're one of the cats out there still watching, if you can, steward at some big competitions too before you have Santa, nice. Steward at a competition if you can, because there's so much that you'll learn from stewarding about just the way the competition functions and the flow of the competition, and then you'll also get the behind the scenes on all these meads and stuff. I mean, you'll get to know pretty much at the same time all the judges are, and from what I understand, a lot of times the stewards get, when there's enough left over, which it seemed like at least 80% of the bottles there was enough for everybody to try some. The stewards get access to all that same type of stuff too, and they don't have to, they're not under the scrutiny of the judge gavel and all that stuff. So I would think stewarding would definitely be the way to go. I'm gonna shed a flashlight on my ignorance. I didn't even know that's something you could do until I got to Mazer Cup. I think, what, you could steward that's something you can do? You can be the guy who just pours and hangs out behind the scenes and everything like that? That's right, you were telling me that you had to buy an extra suitcase for all that mead that you took. Dude, that's bananas, son. Man. But yeah, so if anybody has the opportunity, and you, even if you're starting to lean towards you want to do judging and you're on the fence about it, do some stewarding, find a competition, because these competitions typically need stewards as much as they need judges. Maybe not quite as much so, but if you show interest and you get to know the competition organizers and everything, let them know, hey man, I'm interested in stewarding. I'm sure they'll let you at least be aware of what it's going to do and what it's going to take to make all that happen and everything. Because again, stewarding I think is something I want to do in the future. Even though I've been a judge now, I think there's a lot to be learned, even from experienced judges, to be stewarding. You're helping. It helps cultivate the judging process. It helps cultivate better judges all around. When you know what's going on, when you don't know what's going on, again, it's that synergy, that teamwork together. So, yeah, I definitely say get into some stewarding if you can. So, stewarding for the win, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess it's way after the fact. I don't think it's really any like hidden knowledge or anything. But so after the competitions are over, judged, all the judges' sheets are turned in, best of show, everything's been decided. It's hard to get into judging and stewarding. It's who you know and the powers that be that don't give new guys the experience, unfortunately. Yeah. I don't. I'm not quite sure what you're referencing there, Tony. I don't disagree that it's. Oh, okay. You're okay, and I guess that's kind of where I was going to go with my line of thinking and everything. At least there in Mexico, which is really unfortunate, as I say, because I can't say that that's been my personal experience, because the exact opposite happened for me. I'm basically a nobody, and I said, hey, can I judge? And they said, yes, we want you to judge, even though you're provisionally. Get in here, start learning. Let's get you on the board, and let's get you a part of the team. And it was, I mean, I felt very welcomed, and I had a very positive experience with it. So to hear that you have had a less than positive experience there in Mexico, I mean, we've talked, just on our personal channel and everything like that, just together, and you've expressed some negativity that you've experienced there in the commercial world and everything, which is really crappy. I feel terrible that that you don't get access to all this cool stuff, because I'm dying to try your stuff. You have some certainly a unique palette, and I'm just really wanting to try all your your products and get you the type of experience that we're all having, because I know you would really appreciate it. You're one of the people I know would genuinely appreciate the opportunity to, and genuinely take advantage of all the. It's not even taking advantage of it. It's enjoying it. It's being a part of it. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm waxing on about friends and shit like that. I'm gonna finish this beer. So, all that is being said, if you can steward, definitely steward on your way to being a judge. If you're on the fence about judging, do some stewarding. I think it'd be really, beneficial to the process. Plus, places always need, like I said, need stewards. But I guess back to the little behind the scenes thing. So yeah, after all the judging and everything's done, all the sheets are turned in. They have all these extra bottles that people had sent in. Sometimes they get all wiped out. If somebody sends in, they have to send in a certain volume of mead to be judged. I can't remember quite what it is. I think if it's 750 milliliters that they have to send in, or if it's a full liter or whatever it is. But whatever doesn't get used, gets, if the open bottles, you can go into the storage room where everything's labeled, and you can pop open the open bottles and sample stuff. And like I said, all the judging paperwork's already turned in at this point. So if you recognize something, you're like, oh, hey, I tried that one when I was judging, sweet experimentals, or if I was doing dry stone fruit melomels, and here's this dry peach one or whatever, which was really cool. You get to sample all that. But then after all the open bottles are gone, the closed bottles, man, they let you take a couple bottles. There was there were some bottles flowing around. You know, everybody takes, you know, a bottle here, a bottle there. What I'm saying is you get access to some really cool stuff. And if you steward or judge at one of the competitions, you get privy to that type of stuff. So, and again, that's something I had no idea until I didn't ask for that or anything. So the gloves came off at that time. Exactly. So, you know, and it's just what it is. It's part of the, it's part of the event and everything like that. So, I personally think it helps get some exposure to those same meaderies. So something that they wouldn't, you know, I picked up a couple bottles from Second City, and I picked up another one from Unpossible, their Basswood Traditional. So, you know, it's just a cool experience and everything like that. So, stewarding, do it. Judging, do it. Get out there. Tony, get back up to America so we can bring the family up here so we can get you at least part-time onto some judging, into some, you know, get you some exposed to some stuff. And I'm going to be able to figure out how to get you mead shipped down there without losing my freaking federal license. Because, yeah, we need to get you some good-ass meads. I got, like I said, I got a couple bottles I've specifically stashed in here for when you come by. Because there's no way I'm not sharing something with you when you come up. So... I have to say, there you go, right there. Proclamation Ale Company. Fitter, happier, enjoy a drink now and then. Double IPA. I guess a double thumbs up for me. 9.5%, super smooth. It was cool. Yeah, I popped this back at the beginning of the show. It's been 45 minutes or so. It retained its nice flavor to it. Didn't get funky, didn't get skanky or anything like that. Didn't get overly boozy. I'm happy. I will be a purchaser if I see Proclamation. You know, this is one of the ones I don't see all the time, so I imagine they're probably one of the smaller ones that distributes through, you know, occasionally whenever they have other stuff. Again, out of Warwick, Rhode Island. Did a state report on Rhode Island back in the old 6th grade. Got a pretty decent grade on it, if memory serves. Parents helped me make this really cool float diorama thing. It was legit. But yeah, so Proclamation Brewing out of Rhode Island. Ooh, excuse me. Gets a thumbs up from me. So, and then again, so even as this has been sitting out here for about 20 minutes or so now. That meadow foam, blackberry honey. Yeah. See, initially, before the oxidation, when it was fresh right out, when I first popped the cork, man, that spicy bourbon barrel note just punches you right in the face. But now that, again, it sat there for a couple days and breathed a little bit and oxidized and freshened its breath, so to speak. The punch is still there, but it's much smoother. It's more like a glancing blow. But like I said, that the real winner is that blackberry character that comes out that wasn't there. I mean, it was there, but it wasn't nearly as prominent. So the toasted coconut marshmallow character is definitely there on the back end of the palate. Right up front is that blackberry now comes in. You get the punch of the bourbon, the caramelization, those like kind of oaky notes, and then straight into that blackberry, like true blackberry jam, where you can taste the acidity and the bitterness on it, a little bit of astringency. Huge fan. Huge fan. That's probably got to be in my top 3 favorite meads ever. I mean, I kind of knew that then when I was there at Mazer Cup, but now I definitely. I mean, look, I don't know if you can see the legs on that glass, but probably not throwing my fingerprints and everything, but it is thick and heavy. So I guess that's what we're gonna do then. If we're gonna be kicking it off and doing the next mead for Pips, no time like the present to get it going, right? So do this Pips up here. Let's let it breathe as well. Pips Meadery. So I don't know anything about these cats. I had heard some people at the Major Cup talking about them. From some things I read online and everything, I didn't necessarily, when I first heard about these cats, think the most of them. That's my personal prejudice, so I have to apologize to them if you all ever see this. The owners of Pit Meadery, I apologize for my knee-jerk asshole reactions and attitude. That was uncalled for and definitely not cool. So that being said, definitely excited to give their stuff a try. Ooh, very like, it's supposed to be cranberry almonds, almost like amaretto. So I definitely get the almond. I don't know if you ever had amaretto liqueur, but it definitely has that. Ooh, and a very true cranberry aroma to it as well. So my wife keeps yelling at me. He's like, you need to pour them, when you're pouring them, pour the back label down so you don't spill all over the label. I'm like, no, I want it on the label. She's making fun of me. She don't really sound like that. It's just, I think, a husband type thing to like make a whiny voice. She really don't give me that much shit about it, but you can already see that I fucking got it all over the label. So maybe she does know me better than I want to admit, but man, strong cranberry. Almost smells like stereotypical store-bought cranberry juice, like big box store cranberry juice. Which, to be fair, I mean, anything that's 100% cranberry juice, like all natural, I don't care if it's Walmart brand, I mean, it's cranberry juice. How much really fucking different can you get? Did you pull 800 million cranberries out of that bog and mix them all together? Get out of here with that bullshit. Cranberry juice is cranberry juice at that point. So I have to say, it definitely has a very true cranberry essence to it. And just on that back end of that last sniff there, I started to get some of the honey sweetness. Comes in on the backside, the sharp kind of cranberry tartness right up front, and then the wafting end of the sweet amaretto. It's the honey and the amaretto. Again, it smells like amaretto liqueur. It smells like an almond liqueur almost in the backside. Not strong. I mean, it's definitely faint, but it has that, like, if you've ever had amaretto, go give it a pinch, or almond liqueur of any kind. It has that sweet almondy smell to it, and then, like I said, right behind that cranberry, no bubbles beyond the pour, just a couple little bubbles in there, nothing sparkling above the bottom. Slightly brilliant clarity. It's a developing clarity. Let's give it that. It's getting there, not quite fully developed. It's developing. But man, that aroma is something else. Maybe I'm starting to fall on the hype train for the Pips. Maybe they do need to deserve as much clout as they get. One of the reasons that I was also excited to pick up this bottle, because it's a 375 bottle, so 375 milliliters, which is, I would say, it was about 13 ounces or so, like roughly 13 ounces. A lot of their bottles are 187 bottles. Which, if that was the size, if you saw any of the honey pot meadery reviews I did, like the megaphone in that one. So this is a 187 bottle. So that's got to be about 6.5 to 7 ounces. I mean, look at the size of the difference in those bottles, which is just ridiculous. So, and from what I understand, Pips doesn't do a whole lot of doesn't do a whole heck of a lot of the 375 bottles. The vast majority of the stuff is either 187 or 200 ml bottles. So I don't think from what I understand, my personal understanding is they've never done a 750 bottle or even a 500 bottle. So, all right, here we go down the old hatch. Man, that's appealing. Man, full, you know, I'm gonna actually have to say this one's a bit cloying on my side, for me personally. I mean, that is right up against the cloying, over syrupy. I mean, I'm looking at trying to look at the top of this. I almost looks like it's got like broken surface tension from where my lips touched it and left a little bit of oil for my skin on there, and it like the sugar like won't break that. It looks like there's like a little half moon from where man, that's I'm kind of, actually I have to say I'm kind of disappointed in that it's the texture of it is what it is. The mouthfeel on it is so thick and heavy. The flavor is on point. It almost looks like it reminds me of something like you would like a cranberry, something like you would add water to it to like make like your cranberry drink or something like that. Like you would add shots of this into like a water bottle to like when you go hiking or something. It's like, here, add this cranberry flavoring, this cranberry almond flavoring to your water bottle, so when you go hiking you have a little zest in your water. Almost no alcohol warming at all. It doesn't say what percentage it is on there. It's 12%, sorry, my mistake. 12%. Well, it certainly doesn't taste like 12%. I'll give them that. That's certainly masked. I get a lot of the almond character. I get it way more in the nose than I do in the flavor. I guess maybe there in the back end, again, it's all sweet cranberry. It's like cranberries you picked out of trail mix, like dried cranberries, like sweetened dried cranberries. Has a very true cranberry character to it, but yeah, that's a solid point, Tony. Yeah, maybe some ice would help, like a Scotch on the rocks. You know what? I would suggest that. I would highly suggest that and recommend that if you're going to have some of this particular one from Pips. Like I said, I have their black currant one at Mazer Cup. Now maybe I had a couple meads already, and maybe my palate was kind of fatigued from a day and 2 days of judging when I'd had it. So maybe that one also had this kind of particular mouthfeel, and I kind of just missed it at that point. But all being said, yeah, definitely an ice cube in this one, whetstone, something like that might, maybe a whiskey stone, something that's just going to be cold and maybe kind of produce a little bit of condensation, and maybe not something that's going to melt down. That might be a whole thing. But you know what? I say give it both a shot. Throw an ice cube, do a whiskey stone, do both. Do one of them big old globe-shaped pieces of ice that you can get somewhere and just kind of pour it around it, and then maybe pull, whatever. But to that point, I think some water might actually do this one a service. All that being said, the flavor on it is good. The cranberry, like I said, the cranberry character is true, comes through the most. It says cranberry with almonds, so that implies to me in my brain that the almonds are supposed to be secondary. They most definitely are secondary, if at all, in there. The sweetness from the honey definitely comes through at the end. Behind the cranberry notes, and it doesn't have a huge memorable mouthfeel. I would say kind of like more on the developing mouthfeel, not fully developed. I mean, it's not like a nice 8-9 seconds where you can just keep tasting after you breathe it out, but it sticks around for a little bit of time. What is a whiskey stone? I'm not exactly sure what type of material they're made out of, but it's basically like an artificial ice cube that's made out of a certain type of stone. You keep them cold and you throw them in your whiskey or your scotch, like Tony was saying. And as they warm up to room temperature, they pull condensation on them and just impart a tiny bit of water into your whiskey or your scotch, as opposed to the entire volume of a melting ice cube, which could, fluctuate really mess up your whiskey to water ratio. It's all a matter of personal preference, really. Some people like to water down their scotch or their whiskey. Some people only want a little bit. But that's what the purpose of the whiskey stones are. If you see them on Amazon, it's almost going to look like either a square sugar cube or ice cube shape. most of the ones I've seen have been cube shaped. I guess they might have different shaped ones for different purposes. I mean, I guess it's with those ones, they're not imparting any flavor of the stone, so it wouldn't really matter what amount of surface area. But yeah, ultimately that's what they are. So you know what? Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll start popping the bottles on my Tuesday night shows. On the Tuesday night lives when I'm not, well, if I'm going to be popping bottles on the live show for the interviews, so on my TK and Drinks, I'll pop the bottles that I'm not doing for my live show. So this will be the next one. Next review coming up. TK, Lahir, almond, cranberry with almonds. The actual review. And then I'll, in my review video, say, hey, if you want to watch the live pop, you know, go back and scope out the TK and Drinks Tuesday Night Live. Neat all the way, thank you, but just sometimes an ice cube or cold goes a long way. And I agree. That one of the reasons I've been drinking these meads more room temperature or more warmer, you know, 55 degrees, 60 degrees when I pour them, is I feel a lot of people I feel a lot of people try to suppress and hide their flaws with cold. You know, there's certain characteristics that can be hidden in that environment, and I don't want to give those people or those products necessarily an excuse. Say, oh, well, that one was, you know, that one was cold when I had it, so I didn't taste this, that, or the other thing. I want to, you know, get everything from slightly chilled up to room temperature, unless somebody specifically says, no, this needs to be served at this because it's a specific style and that's what we're looking for. Now I understand, you know, personal preference 100%. If your personal preference is you like it cold, fuck, drink them cold. Don't listen to me. I'm just one some fucking jerk ass on the internet. But you know, for tasting and like judging purposes and stuff, I always try to, you know, keep it as closer to room temperature as possible, just to get as much expression out of it as possible. One of the biggest secrets in the white wine world. Oh yeah, white wine. I always serve white wine cold. I mean, even in like one of the first things I ever learned out, I think it was either out of like Maxim magazine, or I doubt it was Playboy. I never really read Playboy, but it was either like FHM or Maxim or whatever. But you know, they always says like, so for your red wines, you hold them by, you know, they're super room temperature or warm or whatever, so you'd hold them by the glass. And then for your white wines, they're served, you know, chilled, so you'd always hold the white wine glass kind of by the stem, so you're not introducing the heat from your hand into the glass and warming it up. But like Luke is saying here, yeah, you can't. That's a big secret. And this dude's distributed wine throughout the East Coast there. I mean, this dude knows what the fuck he's talking about when he's coming to this. So yeah, you chill down your white wine, tell people, no, it has to be served chilled. You can only serve it chilled, drink it chilled. It's because not only because, but because you're suppressing a lot of the flaws or potential flaws in it. A good wine is going to taste different cold. Everything's going to taste different cold than warm. A good wine will taste good cold and warm. It'll just have extra expressions and characteristics from it, you know, the profile it's supposed to be providing. So I didn't even realize it's already up to 7 o'clock, so we are going to have to let this one go for the evening. So I appreciate everybody for showing up tonight. Thank you so much from TK and Drinks. One last pour, so quick, another 2 minutes maybe. Lava Run from Half Acre. These cats out of, again, I think Half Acre Beer Company out of Chicago. They're one of my favorites out of the Chicago area. Super, I'd say undercover, but I mean compared to some of the bigger names like Hot Butcher and I guess just Hot Butcher's probably one of the biggest ones out of the Chicago area. Goose Island, I think they're up there too. Skull, love you guys. Y'all take it easy. Half your $20 bottles drink like a $10 if at room temperature. Exactly. Oh my god, that's hilarious. So if you're in the Chicago area, check out Half Acre. I think they're probably one of the, like I said, one of the undercover more breweries in the area and everything like that. So the Lava Run. Wow, bright. Even behind all that sweet mead, it doesn't taste bitter. I can taste the dryness of it, but man, that's good stuff too. Like I said, Half Acre, pick their stuff up. Y'all, have a good night. Thanks for being here with TK and Drinks. Love y'all. You're like family. Some of you are family. Appreciate that. And I will see y'all on the next time. Remember, all the interviews coming up. Starting Tuesday, this next Tuesday, 2/8, we got Sean Darrell Harris from Wakalei Honey. Then we've got Twisted Horn the following Tuesday, the 8th. Then Steamworks on the 15th. Meeting of the Minds on the 22nd. And then Contrivance on the 1st. And then we'll be into May, and we'll have having many more, hopefully many more reviews going on. But up until then, just be here every Tuesday in February for an interview. And like I said, bring your questions. Have fun. Have a good night. Later.